I'm a person who will get up at 4 a.m. and my brain is like on from like 4 to 10 o'clock. I have to stop what I'm doing, go to my computer, take care of this task. And I didn't want to do that. I never thought anybody could do things exactly like I can, which is absurd now that I look back and think that. I found my VA within like less than a week. It was
Yeah.
awesome. Now I've got days where I'm done in 2 hours. Maybe I'll work 2 to 4 hours on a long day.
Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Sarah Monica, and today is the start of a series of success stories that I am so excited to share. They're success stories of my Outsourcing Made Easy students, and I finally get to share them with you because throughout the year, as they are in the program, in the group coaching, in the Facebook community, taking all the steps, taking all the actions to actually get their time back in an effective way that actually works, in a way that's affordable. I get to hear these wins and stories all the time. And this is the time of year where I actually get to interview them, we get to celebrate them, and I get to share them with you. And I personally love hearing these types of stories on podcasts because it really helps me expand into understanding what's possible. And I love hearing stories from all different people. Like us photographers, we all come from so many different backgrounds. We have so many different experiences. We experience different circumstances in our lives, in our businesses. And if I hear a story of someone who is going through something, maybe a challenging time, and then they were able to overcome that and then totally transform their business and their lives in a way that I want to, I end up feeling so like, oh my gosh, I can relate to that person's story. And that means that if they did it, I can do it too. And so I want to give you guys this gift as well of really, this is your moment to see the big picture possibilities, to melt those limiting beliefs away, even if just for this one episode. If just for this one episode, you're able to just have an open mind, take in the information, and just tune into your body, pay attention to what has you lean in more, what has you feeling excited when you hear something that is possibly available to you or possible to you. Pay attention to that because it's only when we are present and become super aware to our desires that it gives us clarity on the next steps in our life and business. And so in today's episode, Jessica shares so much, and I'm so excited to dive in. But as a quick summary, she shares how she got back a minimum, this is a minimum across the board, of 15 hours back per week of her time and how affordable it is for her. Your mind will literally be blown when you hear how much she's investing in order to get all of those hours back in her business. She shares all the tasks that she outsources to her virtual assistant. She explains how she's able to work less hours now and make more money than she ever has in her business. And also, she also talks about what her favorite part of my Outsourcing Made Easy program was as well. And first and foremost, just remember this episode is meant to be expansive for you. It's meant to satiate your logical mind to know what's possible because we share a lot of like actual facts where it satiates your logical mind to know, oh, okay, this actually makes sense that if I take this action, I'm going to get this result in my business. It's the law of cause and effect. And everything we do in life, in our business, every decision we make, every action we take, we do something and then that causes something that causes a result. So if we continue to do things the same way we've always done, for example, doing every single task alone in our businesses and not getting support with anything, then we're going to continue to stay overworked, burnt out, hitting an income ceiling, not feeling fully fulfilled, feeling like life is passing us by, and feeling guilt and regret, feeling guilty whether you are, working because you're feeling guilty that you're missing out on time with your family, with your friends. You're feeling guilty that you're not actually becoming the person that you want health wise, maybe, right? Or maybe you haven't yet gone into discover the hobbies that you've always wanted to pursue, right? So you're feeling guilty while you're working. And then also if you're doing everything yourself and your to-do list is never ending and it's a constant burnout cycle, then if you do take some time off to go to a yoga class, to take a walk, to spend time with your kids, to spend time with your family, you're also feeling guilty that things aren't getting done and that your to-do list is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger if you take time off, right? Am I right? Who can relate, right? So we want to get out of that cycle. And the only way to get out of that cycle is to do something differently. And Jessica is an amazing example of how she didn't let one belief about outsourcing, which was nobody can do it as well as I can, she didn't let that thought stop her. And then you're going to see how where she is now, and it's incredible. So, before we dive in, I just want to introduce Jessica to you because her bio is pretty incredible. And yes, I'm just going to share a bit about Jessica with you. So, Jessica is an award-winning professional pet photographer focused on celebrating the joy and love between Pittsburgh pets and their people. She is a certified printmaker, continuing her education in on the best ways to create a truly boutique experience for every client and striving to provide the best practices of workflow, processes, design strategies, and client support. Jessica is also a pet loss grief specialist, which enables her to connect with her clients and their loyal companions and help them tell their stories in a way that elevates their photography experience beyond just beautiful portraits. In addition to capturing pets through playful portraits, high energy action shots, and small moments in time, Jessica also gives back through her annual pet calendar contest, which has welcomed hundreds of entries and raised that tens of thousands of dollars for Pittsburgh local rescues and nonprofits. When she's not behind the camera, rolling in the grass, covered in dog kisses, you'll find her coaching in the Flourish Academy's elite business program, Elevate, where she specializes in pricing, in-person sales, client management, and software automation. You're in for a treat with this episode, and I can't wait for you to dive in. Enjoy. Okay, so welcome, Jessica, to the show. I am so excited to have you here, and I cannot wait to hear all of the juicy details about, your experience with outsourcing, how it's shifted your lifestyle, your business, and I cannot wait to hear all the juicy details about how much time you saved and how much money you've invested, all of that. So for those of you listening, I was like, we are not going to talk about those things just right before we start recording. I'm like, we're going to leave everything so it could just be me totally surprised. We're in the moment. We're having like that in moment conversation together so you guys can just listen in on that. And so Jessica, I'm so excited to have you here. So grateful for your time. And yeah, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'm obsessed with her shirt because she's a pet photographer and it's like totally on brand. And I'm like, it's so unique. I love it.
Yeah, covered in dogs. It's usually dog
Covered
hair,
in-
but today it's dogs.
Oh, that's yeah. Okay, so first, I really want to get started with you sharing with the listeners. Tell us a bit about yourself and how you help others through photography in your business, because I really love, everyone, we're all such unique snowflakes. And I know people listening to this, it's just so nice to like connect on a human level with someone instead of just jumping into the like, okay, this is how I improve my business, the logical stuff. Like, let's have a moment of like connection and let's all connect together. So, yeah, tell us a bit about you and how you help others through your photography.
Yeah, I started my business in September of 2016, entirely accidental. I had been posting photos of my dog Hunter. He was an easy subject. He's always around. Now he's not so much an easy subject. He's on to me. But at the time, at the time, like that was what I was sharing, and I was sharing it mostly on Instagram. And as a new photographer, the photos were in focus, but they were like not always well exposed. They had like a sepia tone. I was trying everything. And a woman in my area who runs a local camera club somehow got connected with me and said, "Oh my gosh, he is so cute. You should be a pet photographer." And so I said,
No
"Okay."
way.
And I just launched. And that was probably in March she mentioned that. And by September, I had fully just went all in.
Oh my
And from there,
gosh.
it's just grown. I am a figure skating coach on the side as well. So
Holy
that,
crap.
yeah, that used to be my full-time job and it's completely switched. And now I'm doing that part-time in photography full-time.
That's amazing. And then expand a little bit more on all the ways that you're also
Yeah.
like approaching your sessions, right? Because there's just some unique things I know about you, of how you know, really nurture your clients and their pets, and also what you do also every year to like raise money and for what. I think it's amazing. So I really want to I want you to share because it's just like it's just so expansive. What you do is so expansive, and I want people to hear it so that they can also get ideas for this kind of stuff to improve their client experience and even see how they can give back.
Yeah, client experience is really probably the top thing for me. I want my clients to come in always feeling like they're my only client and that when I'm with them, it's all about them and their dog. And there's no expectations of them to be perfect or their dogs to be perfect. And I just want them to show up and allow their dog to show up how they know and love them best. As a pet photographer, one of the things that I get a lot of are people coming in for end of life sessions, which I
Mhm.
call my rainbow sessions Rainbow Bridge. And so I've become a pet loss grief specialist through what was formerly One Last Network and is now the Companions Collective. And I went through training on how to communicate with my clients before, during, after the session, how to sell with them to them without coming across as salesy.
Yeah.
Um, Running the session, how you can structure it to keep everybody comfortable and happy. And those really are my favorite sessions. Like I just think that they're so meaningful
Wow.
to my clients.
Wow. That's incredible. The fact that you even went through, how long was that training for you to become a specialist with
Just
that?
a couple weeks. Yeah,
Oh, a
about
couple
6 weeks, I'd
weeks.
say.
That's incredible. And
Yeah.
I actually was having this conversation with like a psychic medium who is also an astrologer earlier this year on the podcast, and she was saying how there's this like why not also document those moments even for humans, like the last moments you know you're having with a family member that's passing away, right? There's this like way we can serve with our photography, not just in the happy moments, but also in the
Mhm.
harder moments, because those are still like such cherished memories. Would you say that even your clients end up experiencing a whole new level of like presence and gratitude because they know those are like some of the last moments?
Yeah, a lot of people come in thinking like it's so sad, they're gonna cry. It's almost creepy. They don't want to look at their dog not feeling well. But I had a client who went through this and she talked with me afterwards and said it was one of those times where she didn't have to think about medication dosages or going to the vet or how her dog was feeling that day. It was just a chance for her dog to go out and just sniff around, walk the trails, roll in the grass, and do all the things
Mm.
that he loved. And I'm like, that's what I want everyone to walk away from, whether it's end of life or it's a puppy session or a middle-aged dog who's just a part of the family. So hearing that was like, that's why I do this.
That's beautiful. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm about to cry because I'm a Cancer, so my emotions just flow. And
Mhm.
I've actually met the point where I just accept it as my superpower, because if I cry on a podcast, it's okay. That's just me in touch with my emotion. But just even talking about this, because our dog Abby is 15 now, and it's
Yeah.
just these slow signs of, whoa, it's getting closer and closer. And it makes me like want to tear up, but I'm also in this beautiful moments of acceptance as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, just you mentioning that, I was like, oh, okay, don't start bawling, Sarah. That's beautiful. And I love that idea. And especially you guys, if you're listening to this, if you can, you know, think outside of the box of whether it's some kind of family session or couple session, if you can bring another element to the experience you provide and like do a 2 week training or a half year training to like bring something a whole new element to it. Even I've even had the idea of like even um imagine if I became good at leading meditations and
Mhm.
then starting off a couple session with a deeper meditation so they get really present with each other, right? It's this beautiful thing. Like you just found this like curiosity and interest into leaning into that and understanding how to facilitate that energetically. And you leaned into that. And now you're cultivating this unique experience that is very much like not, you can't really, someone else can't really copy it, especially because it's you and you're your own specific type of person. And so that's when we can even increase our rates and charge premium because we are really providing a
Mhm.
premium, well thought out, deep experience. So I think that's wonderful. So thank you for sharing that. And also, lastly, how do you also what do you do each year to like give back to the community as well? You do a fundraiser, right?
Yep, I run an annual pet calendar contest. I just did my 8th year in January. I run it during January, February, March, so it's something to kick the year off, and it's become really popular. People look forward to it. I run it for the same rescue every year in our area, and it's amazing when you hear like COVID would have taken us out, but this kept our food pantry going, our vaccine clinics moving along. And I
Wow.
think over the years we were at almost $88,000 raised, which just blows my
What?
mind. Yeah,
Jessica,
it's
you're
wild.
incredible.
It,
Wow.
it's all community. People get so behind this, and it's really, really fun to think your little dog did this.
But it's also like a okay, so firstly, I have a question. So what is how does the fundraiser work? So how do people donate? How does it work?
Mhm. It's done through a program called Go Photo Contest.
Hmm.
It's $1 per vote with a $5 minimum vote. And then there's a $5 entry fee. So people will enter their pet, their own photo that they submit, tell
Okay.
their friends and family to vote. We do voting promotions. So, donate $10, you'll get double the votes. We partner with local businesses, pet friendly people that cater to pets and their people, and they'll donate mini contest prizes. And it just really like ups our engagement. And people are so excited for this. I look forward to it every year.
That's incredible. Oh my gosh. Now I'm like thinking, I'm like, oh wait, I could do some kind of content. Wait, it's called Go Photo. I'm writing it down.
Go Photo
Go
Contest is the platform. Yep.
Photo contest because I could do any photographer can do this like
Mhm.
with engagement photos or like wedding photos like
Yeah.
get all, oh my gosh, that's incredible. And then the cool thing is that you've been doing this for 8 years now. So it's like probably in the first 2, 3 years, it was like so much of the heavier lifting of like, this is a big project, trying to figure out the workflows and everything. But now would you say you're at the point where it's just like rinse and repeat? I know what to
Mhm.
do. I have systems. And now this is a perfect segue. You probably have your virtual assistant helping you with the project management and everything, right?
Yes, it's you learn, you work out all the kinks, and then like you said, it's you change the year, but all the other stuff stays the same. So it's so
Yeah.
much quicker. It's really an efficient fundraiser that doesn't take a ton of time once you've got it set up.
But creates a huge impact. Wow.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so thank you for all that, all the backstory, and I'm just so in awe of you. And let's now, oops, hit my microphone. Let's now move into, I really would love for you to even mention why you joined Outsourcing Made Easy in the first place. Like, where were you at? Where was your business at? What was the motivating factor that was like, I need this right now?
Oh, lots of things. It was around the time I hit my first six-figure year, and I'm in a mastermind, and I'm hearing other people say you have to kind of like let go of some stuff to start to grow.
Mhm.
But I didn't want to because I would work 24 hours a day if I could. I love it. I never thought anybody could do things exactly like I can, which is absurd now that I look back and think that. And I'm like, all right, what can I start to let go of that's maybe a baby step? And it can
Mm.
be something that I'm okay that if someone else doesn't do it exactly like I want to, I can still just be all right with that. So I started dabbling a little bit. I believe I started with client management, so just kind of scheduling out all the little things that I have to do that I can't automate in my CRM. So mailing
Mhm.
like a client welcome package home within so many days of them booking. And I'm
Mhm.
just like, okay, let's see how that goes. And then from there, I'm like adding a little bit more each time and I'm hooked now. So I really love it. It's taken a
So
lot
would you
off my
say,
plate.
so did you at all experiment with outsourcing on your own before Omi, or was it like you never did anything by yourself, then you joined Omi, and then you went through the lessons, the steps, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this step by step.
Exactly. It was my first go. So I
Okay,
just followed whatever you said to do and it worked.
got it. And how, like now thinking back, imagine if you didn't have this resource, Omi, and you were just like, okay, I'm just gonna start and I'm gonna figure it out from scratch. Like, would you feel like that would take so much longer?
Yeah, because I found my VA within like less than a week. It was
Yeah.
awesome. And she ended up being my first choice. So it was just like everything that I was looking for, I knew what that was and then how to find it. And if I was on my own, I would have completely been looking in the wrong places and not being able to screen the right applicants.
And would you say you probably would have even been paying much more because you wouldn't have known how affordable it can be to have an amazing VA?
It's really surprisingly very affordable for us, but for her, I mean, I hear how much of a difference it makes, which is really cool.
Yeah. So what does that look like if you're saying you hear from her how much of a difference it makes? Like, could you explain a little bit more of what she mentions to you or
We started out with the agreement of like 3 to 5 hours a week because at that time I didn't have a vision of what she would even do for me. I just knew I didn't need to be doing all these little things. So at 3 to 5 hours, I was paying her $5 an hour. And as of this July, she is now 15 to 20 hours with me, and I've increased her to 5.50 an hour because
amazing?
yeah, she said I online tutor and I volunteer and I work for you and I'm not able to online tutor, but I need to support myself and my family. So can I essentially go like part-time with you? And I'm like, okay, I'm not sure what this is going to look like, but yeah. And to hear that what I'm giving her, which seems so insignificant to me, is helping support her and her family is that's really meaningful and that feels really good.
Yeah, and just to clarify for any new like there's some like OGs that are listening to this podcast, you know exactly what I'm about to say. And then there's some people that, hey, this might be your first episode. So just to clarify, you're like, how the heck is that support so available and so cheap? 100% ethical. It's just that she has her virtual assistant from the Philippines, and
Mhm.
it's the conversion rate on the dollar that's in our favor. So when it's super cheap and affordable for us, it's a regular rate for them. And they are a freelancer just like us. So whenever they get an email or like a new client and they're like, oh my God, this person wants to book me, they get just as excited and fired up as we do as photographers. So just to clear that up for anyone curious and wondering, and how about like, did you have like an kind of like a mindset shift possibly throughout the process of like, what someone is capable of overseas and how can they do things like I want them? How can they be reliable? How can I trust them? All of those thoughts and factors that could come up when we're like, what? This person on the other side of the world, how can they possibly support me well, right? Like,
Yeah.
did you have any of those thoughts come up?
I think I'm an English major, so I enjoy writing, and it's like very important that things are grammatically correct. And I was a little worried that maybe there was a language barrier. No, not at all. It
Mm.
was really shocking how well she can write and communicate, and that really put things at ease. And then there was also the thought of I have to get past this thing that I'm the only person who can do my job so good.
Yeah.
There are things people are also really competent at, probably even more so than me. So why not give them a chance to like let that come out and shine where they feel like they're the strongest? And I've talked with her and said, where do you feel that you want to learn more or that you're really strong in? And she tells me, and I give her more tasks related to that.
That's amazing. And what helped you? So if you did have those like little small blocks of I don't know if someone can do it as well as I can, what actually flipped that for you? What was there like a moment in time where you kind of made a decision or try like how were you able to get over that limiting belief?
I realized if I can do it, then I can write it down or record it and someone else can follow it. It's not that complicated. And
Yeah.
I just had to trust that if there's a lack of clarity in my instructions, they'll ask.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And now that I think about, 'cause let's circle back a little bit again because you mentioned, you're in this mastermind and you hit six figures, like how exciting, amazing in your business, and you're noticing that people in this mastermind or to get to the next level, you cannot be doing everything yourself. It is literally impossible because you only have a certain number of hours in a day. And the more you stay in the revenue generating activities, your zone of genius, your zone that of like energy, even, right? The things that excite you and energize you, the more your business will grow. It's just cause and effect, right?
Mhm.
So, what was what did your life look like with like is there any, I know you mentioned you're like, I love this and I could easily work 24/7,
Yeah.
right? But were there moments of, because there's a reason you didn't want to keep going down that route of doing everything yourself, right? So like paint me a picture of like actual details of like your day or your week of like the things you would do or how you'd feel. Maybe you would feel exhausted in your body. Maybe you would hit that burnout and be more tired than you want. Let us know how that felt for you.
Yeah, I'm a person who will get up at 4 a.m. and my brain is like on from like 4 to 10 o'clock. But then I'd find myself throughout the day almost like not sneaking work, but feeling like I had to jump in and take care of this little thing. And it may have taken 2 minutes, but it was like I have to stop what I'm doing, go to my computer, take care of this task. And I didn't want to do that. And my dog is 15 and it's becoming more important that I'm with him more and not just tied down to a computer. Like if I want to go sit outside with him, I want to go sit outside and not have to think about checking in on something or scheduling something. So it's taken a lot of that off my plate that was just taking up small pockets of time that were definitely equating to more hours in a week than I had realized.
Yeah. It sneaks up on us, right?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also our mental bandwidth, like of like, oh, this is a 5 minute, let's say we have like 10 5 minute tasks. It's like that's 10 extra things on your to-do list. And then when we look at our to-do list, overwhelm,
Yeah.
stress, right? And it's
Hmm.
like, it's just this, yeah. So I love that you mentioned, so our dogs are the same age. Oh, so we're in the same exact stage. I'm like, right now, I'm like, as much like time as possible with her right now. And just like when she's
Yeah.
rolling in the grass, I'm just sitting in the grass with her, petting her tummy. Like, yeah, and that's life. It's about those moments, and they're so fleeting. So I love that you were conscious enough and recognized that, and that you took responsibility for yourself and your life, and you're like, I'm gonna make a change. Like, that's so powerful.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so now what does life in business look like for you now? Now that you have the support of a VA, and we're going to go into like exactly what your VA helps you with, your editor, but what does it look like now? How much more spaciousness do you feel? All of that.
I'm really still adjusting to this because I used to fill my day with everything I could possibly think of. And now I've got days where I'm done in 2 hours. Maybe I'll work 2 to 4 hours on a long day. And I'm like, what do I do with myself? Like, this feels uncomfortable, but in a good way, because I know I need to like step into that because we make businesses so we can do what we want and not necessarily work in the business all the time. Yeah, I'm still really adjusting.
I actually can relate to that so much because so actually, I was gonna record a whole another podcast episode about this. Maybe it's already out. We'll see. But when I initially started to outsource, it's because I had these big goals and aspirations. I wanted to also start education part of my business and help people that way as well. So my motivation to outsource was to get my time back so I can start do other projects that I was dreaming of. And also knowing in the future when I have a family, because I started outsourcing like 8 years ago, when I have a family in the future, I'm there present with my kids, family, my health, everything, right? So it was like those two things. And then the fascinating thing is so our son is 2.5 years old. In the last 2.5 years, I have been in this weird transition into motherhood, but then um, getting comfortable with more downtime.
Yeah,
So I actually know exactly what you're talking about because if I was so used to building my business for so long, using like so many hours in the day in my zone of excitement and genius, there comes a point now where I now transitioned into motherhood and I'm noticing maybe right now my goal isn't actually to hit the $1 million business. My goal right now is just to have spaciousness and time with Ben and time to just go out for runs whenever I want, time to just lay out in the sun and like this is the whole new version of me. I thought I was all like so entrepreneurial and like go go and I loved that version of me, but I'm in this transition and it's been very uncomfortable and I literally have just been now understanding, oh, I think I'm meant to enjoy this season of life right now, just to enjoy what I've built, enjoy the time spaciousness thanks to outsourcing, enjoy the abundance my business is bringing me, but not reach for the $1 million yet. Yet, right? And
right.
it's like And exactly what you just said, where you are with your with Hunter, right?
Yep.
He's 15 years old, and it's like maybe right now the days are meant to just be filled with you and him and like other things that you want to fill your days with. And like,
Mhm.
so I totally get the discomfort, and I'm evolving through that right now too.
Yes.
Yeah, but oh my God, for the fact that you said that you're working 2 to 4 hours on a long day is like mind blowing to some people listening right now are like, what are you even talking about? Like, how is that even possible? So, um, yeah, that's incredible. I'm so proud of you that you've been able to do that.
Thank you.
And so maybe let's go to sharing everything, like just like do like a big like list, share a list of like what your VA helps you with. Just list out a whole bunch of tasks. It could inspire someone to think of all the little things they can get help with.
I've got it all right here. I
Perfect.
know I forget. She helps manage my Dubsado CRM and Asana. She puts together my client slideshows. She does Canva graphic creations. She does product reels. She preps my images for mockups and Swift galleries, sends client gift certificates for referrals. She started blogging, does social media scheduling, and writes captions. She updates Google Sheets for gift certificate tracking and my clients' doggies' birthdays and adoption days. Preps images for folio boxes, sends silent auction request, and is doing my treat of the month recipes.
Oh my gosh. It literally, you reading all that gave me anxiety if I had to do all that. Like,
Yeah,
because she works 15 to 20 hours a week. That's 15 to 20 hours of your life saved. Okay, wait, math. Wait, oh, I'm recording something on my phone now, so I can't math. But so 15 to 20 hours a week. So times 550 an hour. So on average, that's how much a week?
if she's working on the low end, it's 82.50.
Oh, you guys, Jessica has gotten 15 hours, if it's on the low end,
Mhm.
15 hours of her time back a week for $80.
Yeah, it's wild. It's not even like a percentage of my annual income. So
No.
when I looked at that, I was actually really surprised it was so low because I feel
Yeah.
like she's doing so much.
Yeah. And so that just makes it a no-brainer. Like, I don't know a photographer who wouldn't want that. And if your mind is tricking you right now into saying, yeah, but I don't know if I can, I don't know if I want that, I don't know if they could do as well as I can. I don't know if like it's just that's a whole nother, that's just other stuff. That's limiting beliefs. That's your ego trying to keep you safe, holding you back because I don't understand a reason why someone wouldn't want that time back from the tasks that bore them and drain them, right?
Yep.
Because I want everyone to keep the tasks that light them up, you know? Like if someone loves culling, like loves it, gets so excited, keep that. Keep it.
Mhm.
There's no one telling you you have to outsource that to your virtual assistant. So that's incredible. And okay, so now let's nerd out over some more numbers. So,
Mhm.
give me, okay, let's start with your VA since we've been focused on that. So, give me a total of, oh yeah, what numbers do you have? You just let me know about the VA.
So far, hours saved in this year, 2024, is 141 hours, and I have spent $761.03.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
141 hours.
Yeah,
141. Okay, let's divide that. So this year, right? So
just this year.
it's we're in end of month 7. Can you divide that 141 divided by 7? Because then it gives a nice picture of like in people's heads of how much they save. You save a month.
20.14.
20.14 an hour. Oh, sorry. 20.14 hours saved a month. And
Mhm.
this was including when she was just starting out at the 3 to 5 hours a week, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And now it's just compounding more
Mhm.
because you've delegated more. That's
Yeah.
incredible. And then how much, oh yeah, and then now for your editing.
Yes.
So
This has been different
yeah,
for me.
yeah.
I outsourced to the image salon. They do my color correction, cropping, all of that. Um,
Hmm.
I'm very quick on editing, so I would say it's this year maybe 40 hours saved, and I've paid 723.75.
Wait. So wait, so this year 40 hours saved.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
very, very quick.
Yeah. And then paid how much?
723.75.
Okay, perfect. So this is a nice actual on the spot coaching opportunity because I'm always like, so I feel like, I mean, this is amazing. You can like keep going if this feels aligned, but I
Mhm.
feel like, do you utilize what's it called? Oh my gosh, Imagen AI yet?
I have tested this out. I've tested a couple of different ones out and I hated it because I'm a quick color. It takes me 10 minutes
Wait,
to color
not
something.
culling. Oh, sorry. Are you talking about editing or culling?
I'm talking about both. So that was what I
Okay.
paid for editing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I've done that and I didn't love it. It just felt like it was like I was still tweaking things.
No, I understand. Okay, this is where we can go. So first of all, culling, I don't suggest AI for it
Mm.
because it lacks emotional intelligence. I
Yes.
go through this. If, by the way, Jessica, I don't know if you've seen the Omi update that went out because I know we all have our lives, we all have so much shit to do. So did you see the Omi update that went out?
No, not
No,
yet.
okay, perfect. Okay, this is amazing. So after this podcast, I'm just gonna like quickly go into Omi. I'm gonna show you in the back end the update because I think this is gonna be a game changer for you as well to just like make the editing process so much more efficient and cost effective at the same time. So um, culling, I do not suggest AI for it. So like let's just put that to the side, but let's focus on the editing. So what I would suggest, and I know the AI editor, it's not meant to actually take your images to perfection to how an editor would do. It's to give your images a stronger base edit than a preset. So
Hmm.
how I see Imagen AI now is it's a preset that we're applying. Okay. And then you take those images and you outsource them to an editor. And I would suggest finding an editor overseas in the Philippines because then you can find someone for like 10 cents an image and they're just doing the fine tuning of the images that already went through the
Uh,
AI tool.
yep,
Because then you're not going to want to pay full price because the editor isn't starting from scratch, right?
true. Hmm.
So this has been a game changer in my business and other OMIs are doing this and it's just so much more affordable. So yeah, try that out and
Okay.
you're going to be so happy. I know this for a fact because I all of last year I tested Imagen AI and it of course there's a learning curve of course and it took maybe 3 months for me to be happy with like the base edit being really 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 strong and then I just send it to my editor. They do the fine tuning. It's so cost effective and the turnaround time is so much faster too because the
Yeah,
editor can edit everything faster.
that makes
So
sense.
yeah, we'll
Okay,
chat
I'm
after
down.
the podcast.
Okay.
But I love that. I love that like live like teaching moment. That was amazing. But yeah, I'm so proud of you and like the amount of time that you saved and how you just like even trusted the process, right? You it's like I'm just so impressed with how you noticed those thoughts come up like I don't think I could someone can do it as well as I can, right? But you're like, you know what? I invested in Omi for a reason. Sarah has these results. I'm going to trust the process and that is why you got these results so quickly, right?
Yeah.
You didn't
Yeah.
like waste time and energy in the back and forth. I don't know. Should I? Shouldn't I? Should I? Shouldn't I? You just went for it.
Yeah.
And very impressive. And I could just
Thank
tell
you.
like you have that incredible like factor about you where you know what you want and you go after it. That's what I
Yeah.
sense off of
I
you.
go 0 to 60 on everything.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I would love to know what did you love most about Omi?
That everything was so clear and laid out. And if I just followed the steps, everything would be fine. I didn't have questions where I was like, what is she talking about? And if I did, there was a chance to like ask and figure it out and get that clarity. But you just made it so easy, especially for someone for the first time. Like I had no context of where to begin and just having it all spelled out, game changer.
Oh, that's amazing. That's exactly the intention I have around it. And I, one thing that I know about people with online courses, there's so many different ways people love approaching it. And there's some people that they all they want to do is log into the online course, do it
Mhm.
at their own pace by themselves. They don't have questions, they don't need coaching. They just go in there and want to just get it done. And then there's other people that have questions along the way, and that's why I have the Facebook community. And then there's other people that need coaching through those like deep, like subconscious rooted thoughts of like, it's not possible, I can't afford it, blah, blah, blah. And then there's that coaching aspect, right? So there's like those different types of students, and right away I could see you're that type of student that's like, give me the login, I got this. And like that's what you did. So
Yeah.
I love that, and I love that, like, because yeah, I go step by step in detail. I literally want, did it feel like I was literally holding your hand without being there? Because
Yes,
it
it
was so
was
step by step.
step by step.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, makes me so happy because there was so much work that went into that, but it's like this moment is always worth it for me when I hear that from someone. So do you have any words of wisdom to someone who is feeling pulled to start outsourcing in their photography business, but they are skeptical? Like there's that block of like, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can afford it. I don't know if I can find the right person. How can I even trust the right person? All of those how or what ifs. Like if someone is skeptical, what words of wisdom would you have for them?
Say just try it. Just see how you like it. You can always take back what you were outsourcing if it doesn't work, but give people a chance to show you what they're capable of, and know that if you can do it, you can teach someone else to do the exact same thing and it'll be just fine.
Amazing. And what if someone is feeling, on the fence about even investing in Omi, right? Because I know a thought that can come up for people is, wait a second, so I'm going to invest in Omi, and then after that, I'm going to be investing in outsourcing. So it could feel like I don't think I can afford it. That thought can come up. But what happens on the other side? Do you think that it provides more opportunity for them to make more money faster and get more bookings once they free up their
Yeah.
time? Like, give them some words of wisdom about if they're on the fence about joining Omi.
Well, the amount of time I have saved has given me more time to photograph sessions and have my boarding appointments, which means I've just made that money back like so much quicker. It's yeah, it's an upfront investment, but in the long term, it is more than worth it. Like 10 times more than I have paid, I have made back, which is incredible.
That's amazing. I love that. So you're saying your income went up
Oh
since
yeah.
joining.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I always
amazing.
track the changes I made, and I noticed that the year I started outsourcing, it just shot up. And I think that was because I just let it go a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. And it's literally logical. Like if you are in your fear mode of like, this investment, first of all, there's a 12-month payment plan. There's a way to like break it down. But secondly, satiate your logical mind. Like with Jessica just said, it's a proof point. It's like logically, it makes sense. If you have the capacity to actually take on more sessions and the cost of you getting support is so low with getting support with editing or a virtual assistant, like you are just on the path to just like making so much more money. It's just how it is. And being more energized and happier and fulfilled at the same time. So it's a
Mhm.
win-win. So
Yeah.
make sure to think about this logically, you guys, because it just makes sense. Amazing. And I would love to know, just to like close off the episode, out of curiosity, what are some of your next goals and aspirations? Like that you have like not it doesn't have to be official, just for fun. Like what's a dream that you're thinking of that maybe you'll do? Or like maybe you know exactly, oh, in a year I want to do this?
I would love to launch my next book project. Maybe the end of this year, January. I don't know, but it'll be another fundraising effort. I'm just pacing myself because I feel like I've done a lot of big projects, but I'm really excited for something like that.
That's amazing. And what do you mean by next book project? Is it the calendar thing, or is it totally different?
It's totally different. It's a book project in which you accept session fees that go toward a rescue or organization of your choice. You photograph, well, for me, it's dogs. I tell their stories and I put it together in a book. And then the proceeds from that also go back to the rescues.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's incredible. Thank you for everything you do for our planet. Like it's amazing because your kindness ripples and then from there it ripples more. So thank you so much.
You're
It's
welcome.
amazing. And lastly, this is just a fun question I'm trying out because it is called the Shine and Thrive podcast. So I would love to know, what are you grateful for in your photography business right now that allows you to shine and thrive?
I would say it's the flexibility and freedom to work when I want, have control over my income, take a nap on a random afternoon if I want to, and spend time with my dog and my husband.
Oh, I love that. Oh, awesome. Okay, well, where can everybody find you and connect with you?
My website is barkandgoldphotography.com. I'm on Facebook at Bark and Gold Photography, and Instagram is Bark and Gold Photography.
Amazing. And that's in the show notes for you guys. And Jessica, I'm so grateful for your time. Thank you so much for sharing everything and being an expander for someone. I know for sure you were.
Thank you.
So the episode isn't over yet, and it's because I got an incredible update from Jessica just about 1 or 2 weeks after we recorded the podcast episode, and I wanted to make sure to fill you in on the update too. So, you know how in the episode she was like, "Wait, what are you talking about? Like, Imagen AI, running it through Imagen AI to have a strong base edit, and then she's like, I didn't know there was an update that came out in Omi. And this is because she had already implemented so much in Omi that she was just like, oh, I'm good. Like it's working for me. Maybe like, we have so many things in our lives and our businesses to pay attention to. Like sometimes so many of the emails I don't even like really read or open. So she missed the update. Totally cool. But after we finished recording the podcast episode, I was like, okay, let me show you. I'm logging into Omi. Let me show you exactly which lessons are updated. I sent her the exact list of the updated lessons so she wouldn't have to like go and figure that out by herself inside Omi. And as soon as I showed her, she's like, oh my gosh, okay, amazing. I'm going to get to work. And this is what I love about Jessica. She literally implemented it right away. And within 1 or 2 weeks, this is exactly what she shared inside the OMI community on Facebook. So this is what she wrote. I hired my new Lightroom editor who will quality check and tweak my Imagen AI edits that I'll use as a base edit. I offered to match his editing rate of 13 cents US per image, up from my initial proposal of 10 cents US per image, after seeing what an amazing job he has done during the trial. But he even said that he preferred to stick with the 10 cents per image for the first 3 months and said that after he may feel comfortable with moving to 13 cents an image. Firstly, that's amazing. Like, how this is just proof of how amazing and trustworthy people we can find to help us support us in our business, that they even like do that. They even care that much about, making us feel comfortable, creating great service, and then after like a trial period being like, then I feel happy to like accept more from you. Like how incredible is that? So then she goes on to write, thank you, Sarah, for the suggestion to move to this workflow approach that's in Omi. I'm even more happy with these results than the editor I was using through the image salon, which I wasn't sure would even be possible. And it's even so much more affordable. And it feels so good to support someone by giving them more work that they are enjoying and can do with flexibility and creativity. So I had to share that with you because this is exactly how fast these results can happen. And this is what I mean. This is why I have everything so step by step outlined in Omi, that there's no guesswork, there's no figuring out from scratch, no like making mistakes along the way that I did that were time costly, that were money costly. Like, this is how fast it could be for you. And I'm so proud of Jessica. And I'm so happy for her that she figured out an even more affordable option and an option that's even working even better for her. So I hope you enjoyed that update and this episode. All right, so that's it for today's episode. I hope that you got that sign that you needed, that expansive moment of possibility that you needed. And I hope this gave you hope. I hope this gave you hope for the future that, yes, you can do what you love for work, which is being a photographer, capturing photos, being creative, while also having a freaking life, right? And like having the spaciousness in your day to, yeah, work 2 to 4 hours a day, then have a ton of space in the rest of your day, and then maybe go off to shoot, right? There is so much available to you, and I am here to support you on that journey. And if my program, Outsourcing Made Easy, where the doors only open once a year, and this year, the official date when the doors are opening is October 1st, and they will be open for a short window of time. If you feel drawn or curious in any way to explore working more deeply with me and for me to be able to support you step by step on this journey so that you can literally work less hard and make more money, then I would be so honored. And for now, you can just get on the priority list, which is go to the link in the show notes, get on the priority list. And if you get on the priority list, you're going to be in for a treat because the Outsourcing Made Easy priority list, which is pretty much a wait list, but I'm going to be giving access and special perks to the priority list this year. So whether even if you're just like half like, I don't know, I might join, I might not, like if you're just at all curious, just join the priority list. You're going to get all of the details about the program to help make the best decision that's meant for you. And you're not going to want to miss out on these perks. Okay. So go to the link in the show notes, get on the priority list, and I cannot wait to see you in the next episode. Bye. Yay! Thank you so much for hanging out with me and tuning into this episode. If you got value out of it, please feel free to message me on Instagram at Sarah Monica Photo. That's Sarah no H, Monica with a K photo, to let me know. I get so freaking energized hearing from others that what I've said has had a positive impact on their lives. Also, make sure to hit subscribe to the Shine and Thrive podcast to never miss an episode. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm sending you all the productive vibes your way so you have the best week ever.